Welcome to the Data3Sixty Analyze Join node video. In this video, I will show you how you can create an enriched dataset by matching records from two data sources. In this example, we have two datasets. The first one is product sales. Within this dataset, we have the following fields: customer account, which is the customer account number of the user who purchased the product that was purchased, and the price of the product. The second dataset is customer details, which contains the fields customer account, name of the customer, location of where the customer resides, their title, their postcode, and the company name. I want to join both datasets using the customer account field. Where the record matches between the two datasets, I want these to be output as one record. To do this, search for a join node, bring it onto the canvas, and connect an input dataset to an input pin of the join node. It does not matter which dataset is connected to which input pin, but following best practice and to avoid lines crossing over, connect the top dataset to the first left pin and bottom dataset to the second right pin. In the Properties panel on the right, we will need to make a few configurations. Firstly, we will need to select a join type in the join type property. This controls which records are output from the join node. For example, the inner option will output only the matching records between the two datasets. The left option will output the orphans from the top or left dataset, and so on. For more details, please visit the help page of the join node. As I only want to output the matches, I will select inner, or I can leave this blank as inner is the default option. Next, in the match keys section, I need to select fields from both datasets that I would like to match on. The left field refers to the top dataset and the right field refers to the bottom dataset. The fields that I want to match on is customer account, so I'll select these for both fields. If you click on the hamburger menu, you will find additional options. The sort descending option will sort the output records in descending order by the field or fields you have matched on. By default, the join node will match on case-sensitive records, but if you would like the match to be case-insensitive, select this option. The Compare Substrings options allows you to compare a part of the record rather than the whole record. I will provide an example on this later on in the video. If you would like to match on additional fields, select them on the following lines. Next, I will scroll down to the Configured Fields section. You can see that there is a warning highlighted in red, advising that there are issues to be resolved for output pin 1. In Dataverse, it is not permitted to have multiple fields with the same name in a dataset. This error is advising us that there is a field collision, as both datasets have a field called customer account, and it cannot output both fields. We have three options to resolve this. The first one is to simply untick the field that you would like to exclude from the output pin. The second option is to rename one of the colliding fields. For example, I could rename the second customer account field to CD for customer details _ customer account and press enter. You can see the field is now renamed. The third option is to rename all fields in a dataset by renaming with a pattern. If we hover over Rename by Pattern, a tooltip appears that provides an example of how the renaming should be written. The star character, i.e. the wildcard sign, represents the current field names, and anything else will be added to the name. For example, we can enter CD for customer details _ and the star sign, then press enter. You will see the new field names all have a CD _ in front of the original field names. In this example, we are going to exclude the customer account field from the second dataset by deselecting it. Rename the node and then run the node. We can see that the join node has output 7 records. When we open the 7 records in the data viewer, we can see that it has only output the matches between the two datasets. Now we have one main dataset that shows us the products that were sold and the details of the customers that purchased the products. Now that we have seen how we can do an exact match on the whole record, let's look at how we can match on substrings. When we select the two fields we want to join on, we have the option to compare a part of the record rather than an exact match of the whole record. We can do this by selecting Compare Substrings from the hamburger menu. For example, I have a data set with a field called Sports ID that contains the country code as the last two characters. There is also a field called Sport in this data set. The second dataset also has a field called Sports ID with the last two characters as country code and an additional field called Location. I want to match both datasets using the Sports ID field, but only on the last two characters. This line tells us that the first character of the string is at position 0, so the position of the first character I would like to match on is 3. If you would like the matching to end at a particular character position, you can enter the position here. I will leave the end position property blank to use the remainder of my record. Now I'll press Done. Now I will exclude one of the Sports ID fields to resolve the field collision issue. Then run the node. When I view the output records, I can see the 3 records from the sports data has been matched with the 3 records from the location dataset. And now we can see the location attached to each record. For more information and help on the Join node, click on the Join hyperlink in the Properties panel to take you directly to the help page of the node.